Think you've got the Bible all figured out? We all know the powerful moments, the Red Sea splitting in two, a shepherd boy bringing down a giant, Jonah in the belly of a fish. And of course, the piercing symbols, the crown of thorns, the cross, the empty tomb. But what if these stories are just the surface? What if deeper meanings, divine designs, have been hiding in plain sight all along? If the Bible is truly God-breathed, then no gesture is wasted, no silence accidental, and even the dust beneath our feet might carry a message from heaven. Take, for instance, the day Jesus wrote in the dirt. A moment of tension, a trap set, a woman accused. And yet, he said almost nothing. Today, we're diving into one of the most mysterious scenes in the entire Bible. And when you see what Jesus did that day, you'll never read it the same way again. It begins in the temple courts. The crowds are gathered around Jesus. He's teaching with grace and authority, when suddenly, chaos. A group of Pharisees storms in, dragging a woman behind them. Her eyes swollen with shame, her shoulders shaking. They throw her to the ground in front of everyone. "Teacher, this woman was caught in adultery, in the very act." John 8:4. They weren't looking for justice. They were setting a trap. The law of Moses commands us to stone such a woman. What do you say? Jesus doesn't answer. Instead, he bends down, and with his finger, he writes in the dirt. Now pause with me. Why would Jesus, the Son of God, respond to this public crisis by scribbling in the dust? The Bible doesn't tell us what he wrote, but perhaps the what isn't the most important question. Maybe we should be asking, why? Let's rewind the clock to another moment in history when God wrote something with his finger. Back in Exodus 31:18, the scriptures say, "And God gave Moses 2 tablets of the covenant law, the tablets of stone, inscribed by the finger of God." That same phrase, the finger of God, appears again in Luke 11:20 when Jesus casts out demons, and again in Daniel 5 where a heavenly hand writes judgment on the wall of a Babylonian palace. So when Jesus kneels and writes with his finger, he isn't just doodling. He's making a declaration of identity. He's saying, "I am the one who wrote the law at Sinai. I am the one who has the authority to interpret it, and I am the one who brings both justice and mercy." This moment is more than quiet defiance. It is a thunderous whisper of divinity. But the brilliance doesn't stop there. According to Leviticus 20:10, both the man and the woman caught in adultery were to be punished. So where was the man? The Pharisees aren't enforcing the law, they're twisting it to trap Jesus and publicly humiliate this woman. But Jesus, he never falls into traps. Instead, he stands and says the line that's echoed through centuries. "Let the one among you who is without sin cast the first stone." John 8:7. And then? Silence. One by one, they leave. From the oldest to the youngest, dropping their stones and their self-righteousness. Now it's just Jesus and the woman. She's still kneeling, trembling, still expecting punishment. But he speaks, "Woman, where are your accusers? Has no one condemned you?" She replies, "No one, Lord." And Jesus says, "Neither do I condemn you. Go now and leave your life of sin." John 8:10-11. Here we see the fullness of the gospel in a single sentence. No condemnation. Grace. Go and sin no more. Transformation. He didn't ignore her sin. He absorbed the shame and offered her a path to freedom. Scholars have long debated what Jesus may have written in the dirt, and while we can't be sure, some fascinating theories are worth exploring. 1. The sins of the accusers. Some believe he was writing out the secret sins of each man holding a stone, exposing hypocrisy without a word. 2. Jeremiah 17:13. Those who turn away from you will be written in the dust, a chilling mirror for the Pharisees. 3. A legal reversal. Others say he may have been reenacting the temple tradition where names of the guilty were sometimes written in dust before judgment. Whatever he wrote, it pierced the hearts of the accusers. It humbled the proud, and it lifted the broken. This moment is the collision of law and grace. Jesus, the same one who wrote the law on tablets, now writes in the dust beneath a condemned sinner. Dust, the very substance God used to form mankind in Genesis. From dust you came, and to dust you will return. Genesis 3:19. Could it be that Jesus wasn't just writing on dirt, but on the canvas of creation itself, declaring that grace rewrites our story? Maybe you've been where that woman was. Ashamed, exposed, guilty. Maybe you've also heard the voices of religious condemnation. Maybe you've even picked up stones of your own. But here's the truth. Jesus still kneels, still writes, still whispers grace to the broken, and he's still asking, where are your accusers? If Christ doesn't condemn you, why are you still condemning yourself? Let the stone drop. Step into grace and walk free. If this story gave you a new glimpse of Jesus, not just as a teacher or a judge, but as a God who kneels low enough to meet us in the dirt, then consider subscribing, sharing, and diving deeper with us in the next episode. Because every time Jesus speaks, even the dust listens.